What's up, everyone? uh, welcome,
What's up?
welcome to the first episode of the podcast, the podcast
Off the rails.
off the rails. It's unedited, unedited and unfiltered. And today we don't have any special guests.
Is that the subtitle? Unedited and unfiltered.
We're on our own tonight with no special guests. Now, since this is the introduction kind of like podcast, I just wanted to like kind of talk about something that happened to me recently.
All right.
We're gonna address the elephant in the room, Dio Brando.
Hang on. Whoa. Before we go off the rails for a second, I'm Kyle, and the other guy is Tony. Or
I didn't need you to. I didn't need you to do that for me. I was gonna do it in my little
you weren't saying.
in my little introduction. I was gonna go ahead and introduce myself, but you just cut me off, and you don't really have manners for
we
the
didn't plan
parts
this
I'm
out. I'm
concerned.
sorry. I didn't do it.
Yeah, you did. Well, if you would have just let me kind of like take the wheel,
All right,
let me do my
go
thing,
ahead.
it would we could have definitely had. Okay. Anyway, so anyway, I wanted to address the elephant in the room. Everybody knows, most people that I know of Dio Brando. He's a vampire. He's not a good person. I'm gonna put that out there. He's not a good man. He's not a good person. And I think that this little predicament that I was in recently is really gonna bring some of his horror and terror to light. I know that a lot of people are kind of like, oh, he's so charismatic. I don't even need the flesh bud, the little charisma in my head why are you laughing? This is genuinely like a serious thing that's going on. Like, can you just have a little bit of consideration? I know this is the first episode and people aren't trying to hear us argue, so just like stop. Just calm down, okay?
All right.
Now I'm gonna get back to it. I lost my train of thought. Okay, you don't need. Dio's basically the sort of guy that people think doesn't need the charisma. I mean, he stole Jonathan Joestar's body, which I think was a real dick move. And I don't know. People just kind of hear his voice, see his beauty, and they completely overlook the problems that he has. And he has some real problems, in my opinion. So today I was out and about, walking down the road, and Dio actually he was in the driver's seat for once. He was doing something for himself, and he stopped. He stopped the car. He didn't. I know what you were thinking. Oh yeah, Dio hit him with a car. He's upset about it. And he didn't steal anything, which is might be the most troubling part. He tries to sell me weed in the parking lot, and all of you know that I am struggling with a little bit of alcohol abuse right now. It's see, there you go, laughing at my fucking problems again. This is not fucking funny. It's not funny. I really have.
You don't have a problem.
I've been struggling with this for a few.
Dude, you haven't been struggling at all, dude.
I've been struggling with this for fucking 24 fucking hours, and every fucking time I try to talk about this shit, you fucking laugh at me. Now I already have this fucking alcoholism problem. And this bastard who knew this comes out of his fucking car and tries to sell me mint. And I call the police. I try to file a claim with Geico, and these bastards tell me you can't go to the hospital, you can't get your bills paid for getting mint sold to you. What kind of fucked up shit is that? Dio has Geico. So who the hell gives him the right? Who gives any of them the right to come to me and say, "Oh, there's nothing you can do about it"? And then I look on their fucking head and they have flesh buds, and all the doctors but pretend like they can't see it because Dio is in their fucking pockets. This is a fucked up system we're in.
Oh man, are you saying everyone at Geico is under Dio's influence?
Yes. Yes. Hey, you know what? I'm done crying. I'm done. This is me. This is I'm declaring beef on Dio, Brando, and Geico for this bullshit. You bastards are not going to continue to get away with this. You're not going to walk around fucking selling mid through your fucked up corporation and your political schemes, because I know that you're in the pockets of politicians, Dio, and the Geico reps. Listen, I hear your voices. I hear your voices, people, but Geico customers, and definitely the Geico employees who have no choice but to go with this without being fear of being pulverized by the world. I've had enough. And I'm going to fight for the people of this world.
What is mid?
Mid is weed.
Oh, okay.
You really think that this is a fucking joke? You really think that this is funny? It's not. This is a serious problem that people have.
Listen, some people might call me a Dio apologist for this, but I don't think he's that bad of a guy. I think
really? You guys heard it first on the first fucking episode of the Off the Rails podcast. This bastard thinks that it's okay that Dio Brando is in the pockets of Geico and the politicians.
If Dio is in the pockets of them, that means Geico is controlling Dio.
Geico, of course.
So
sure.
Geico is controlling Dio.
I mean, sure. Dio has like physical prowess, but what the hell can Dio can't control the economy. Dio can't issue claims or pull people in to fucking sign up for Geico or any of that shit. Dio has no power over car insurance or life insurance policies or any of that bullshit. Dio is a fucking man who is, while he is charismatic and probably could climb in Geico's company, he doesn't have that type of what's the word? It's so late and I'm just kind of ranting here. This has kind of been on my mind all day, so I was waiting for the podcast to start up so I could talk about this. This is really, really affecting me.
Yeah, this is really off the rails. I mean, I can't follow what's going on.
I just told everybody everything. So if you can't keep up, then what? It's your problem. I'm a little shaken by all of this. This has been a really rough week. Janet is thinking about filing for divorce, and she has the kids, and
dang, man. Sorry to hear that.
I just don't know what to say. I thought that maybe if I could get a payout from all of this, that maybe she'd consider, like, maybe we could use that money to go to marriage counseling, or we could, take a private trip and get a babysitter or something and have the kids kind of like do their own thing. But it's just been a really fucked up week. It's been hard.
Yeah, man. Sorry about that, dude. Who is Jam?
Who?
Jam?
Jan. Oh. She's who?
Yeah, Jan. Who is she?
My wife?
I've never met her.
You were definitely
heard of her.
You were definitely at the reception, but yeah, I guess you were so fucking high off of Dio's mid, you fucking apologist, that you.
Wait. That's not true at all, Anthony. I think you're living through multiple timelines at once. I don't recall any of this happening.
Well, this is Dio's world, so it's kind of like maybe he's having my memories or my experiences altered. I mean, that's the kind of power you have when you're in the pockets of so many corporations and politicians and parties and alignments.
Anthony, do you know what the term "in person's in your pocket" means?
Yes, I do know. I do know what it means.
You're supposed to say that they're in
what?
Dio's pocket.
Hey! You don't know. You clearly have no idea what's going on and who's in whose pockets. So you just mind your business. You can mind your own business and stop acting like you know anything about the situation.
And Geico have control over the world.
Yes, they do. It's like I'm saying, Dio has charisma. Dio has the charisma, but how is he going to grow? Have you even read JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 7 Steel Ball Run? Was he not in the president's pockets?
He was in the president's pockets.
Exactly. So shut up.
That means Dio's not in control.
Yes, he's not in control.
So Dio's just being used.
Yes.
I'm a Dio apologist. That's why I'm a Dio apologist.
You're not a Dio apologist. Hey, shut up. You quit. Okay.
Dude, free Dio.
No, don't free Dio. Don't free Dio. Dio is going to rise in it's inevitable. He's gonna rise in these situations. He's gonna be the top dog in these situations, and I don't know, like you don't seem to understand that. You don't have any like care or love for any of the people who are being affected by it, and like what kind of fucked up shit is that, bro?
Anyways, let's move on to the next part of the podcast.
There's no next part of the podcast. There's no next part of the podcast. You just want to get away from the fact. You just want to like hide and shy away from the fact that you're probably in Dio's pockets.
I don't know. That's not true.
Oh really? You have any proof to back up the fact that you're not in cahoots with Dio and that you're not trying to clear up his name on this ever famous podcast?
I mean, is there proof that I'm not? Like that I am?
I think that your words are speaking volumes in this podcast, in my opinion.
Dude, I'm a Dio apologist, man. I'm not in no one's pocket. I'm in my own pocket.
That's crazy. That's really an interesting thing to say.
I'm in my own pocket, man. You gotta be yourself.
That's.
Well, anyways, what video games coming out are you gonna buy, Anthony?
I'm thinking about definitely Dragon Ball Fighter Z. That one's really looking like a really great one to pick up.
When does that come out?
That one's coming out. There's no set release date. They're saying early 2018 is the projected release date. For the past few years, the Dragon Ball Z games have been coming out in February, so I'm really expecting a February release for this one. It's kind of odd because we typically get a DBZ game per year, but I believe that that Xenoverse 2 came out this year. Let me look it up real quick. Yeah, it came out in October 2016. So I guess I was a little wrong about the release date. But historically, they've been released in February. So probably looking at a February release date for that one. It's a good game to pick up.
It's gonna have its own unique character.
Yeah, Toriyama's back making more fan characters. So, we'll see what happens. I think every Dragon Ball Z game kind of has like that cut and paste plot when they're coming up with original plot. So hopefully, I'm surprised by what's coming out in this new game.
They're not gonna waste a good plot line on a video game, though. So,
that's false. That's false. Video games.
Excuse me. I don't mean in general. I just meant like not like a Dragon Ball Z video game. They're not gonna be like if they make a good plot line, they're gonna use it for Super, right?
Super is little. I don't want to get into that. Let's
Yeah, Yeah, let's talk about the video games I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Assassin's Creed Origin. I don't care what the haters say. I know it's a dumb game series.
You don't seem to have any you don't seem to have any respect for any of the viewers' views, considering that you are a Dio apologist, and now you're saying that you want Assassin's Creed Origins to come out because, despite what the haters say, it's going to be a great game. That's not.
I'd say it's gonna be a great game. I'm gonna enjoy it. That's
okay.
all I'm gonna say.
Do you know what? You have fun. I'm not gonna.
I think the main character is black. I think.
Wow! Finally, some Negroes in the Assassin's Creed franchise. It's about time.
I think. I think Liberation had a black female.
When are we gonna get? When are we gonna get Jonathan Joestar back in Assassin's Creed? That's what I want.
Yeah, dude. I want that too. I remember when Jotaro relives his ancestors' memories.
Yes, I do remember that. That was the first few games were really good because they really had that. They really took time to establish the real connection between Jotaro and his ancestors, and I think that was a really powerful way to go about the Assassin's Creed games. I do feel that ever since they kind of got rid of those characters and started focusing on boring things like historical figures, that it's kind of gone downhill. But we can only hope for the best with these games.
Amen. I remember when Hiro can't pronounce his name. I remember when Araki first made the first Assassin's Creed game back in the 80s.
Yeah, I think the first game was kind of like okay. It was still definitely a strong game. It's just kind of it was the beginning of things, so it kind of they had to establish the characters and the setting and the viewpoint in the world and all, so it was okay. But the second game, that was really good. That was a powerful part of the franchise. The third game, it was kind of dragged just a little bit, but
they could have cut some corners.
Yeah, I think that especially kind of like the two-parters sort of feel you get while you're playing the game. When you're fighting the villains, but I think there's definitely no bad Assassin's Creed games. Now the fourth game, that was definitely
I love the approach
on the cake.
Small town, you don't get to explore a big world, but it's a small town that's very deep.
Yeah. There's always beauty in a condensed adventure, with a strong villain. So, not to get into any spoilers, but definitely the second and fourth games are definitely some of the strongest in the franchise. Definitely
Honestly,
like
I think the seventh game was the best.
The seventh game was definitely the magnum opus of these Assassin's Creed games. I think that the eighth game is definitely getting there from what we've seen in the development and the E3 trailers, but we can definitely only hope for the best towards the end. It's looking a little muddled right now, but it always comes around definitely. So we'll see what happens.
Well, anyways, any other games looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't know if it's ever gonna come out. In all honesty. They're saying a 2018 release date, but I feel like Square Enix has never been reliable with their release dates. I can't wait to play as Goofy in the next installment. I really think that being able to finally touch bases with that character will really give us some real attachment. Because when Goofy died in the second game, of course I cried my eyes out for 6 hours. But excuse me, spoilers. Yeah, I definitely cried my eyes out for 6 hours, but I really think that I would have the emotions would have really hit home and hurt me if I was able to play as Goofy in Kingdom Hearts 2. But Kingdom Hearts 3, I really feel like now that we're able to play him, Goofy, Goofy will have Goofy will have a permanent death in this third game. So it'll be painful for us to explore, kind of.
Yeah, I think Disney will let that happen.
You think Disney will let that happen?
No, I don't.
I think so. I think Disney is definitely aware that everybody has to kick the bucket.
Dude,
at some point.
I'm so surprised Disney let Kingdom Hearts happen in the first place. It has like such an edgy, like, no offense, Anthony, you're not part of this, but it has like a really edgy fan base. Like,
well, at least we're not Dio apologists, but whatever.
What?
Well, at least we're not Dio apologists, but tomato, tomato.
Dude, I didn't say that included you. I mean, when you talk about fan bases, it doesn't include everyone. I'm looking forward to Fire Emblem Warriors. It's just like Hyrule Warriors or Dynasty Warriors, so it's not gonna have any Fire Emblem like tactics to it.
Yeah,
just like the series, but
that's not something that I'm interested in at all.
Yeah, I figured. But it has Anna in it, so I'm probably going to buy it. I don't have a Switch.
I don't think anybody on this planet realistically does.
I actually, I don't think it's doing that bad, like, sales-wise.
I'm certain that it's selling fantastically, but it's just such a hassle to go out and find one. So
I think Nintendo caught us at an odd stage where we're gaining responsibility as adults, so we can't be spending $300.
I mean, I definitely like if Geico would finally take responsibility for the heinous crimes Dio has committed, I would have definitely used some of that money to purchase a Switch if I could find one. But companies just don't really want to take responsibility for the things that they do in this new world that we're living in. So that's not looking like it's possible. So if anybody wants to donate some money to my cause, the link will be in the description to a GoFundMe, and you can donate, and we can get me one. So if you're feeling if you're just kind of done with the deal shit, if you're tired of him getting away with the horrible and demeaning things that he does to his fellow man, air quotes. He's a vampire who stole Jonathan Joestar's body for dick move, Dio. But if you sorry, I'm not.
Hey man, vampires have rights too.
You're not helping your case. You're not building
I'm
your.
I'm just kidding, dude. I'm just kidding.
No, you're not kidding. You're not kidding. And
no, I am kidding.
It's clear that you're not kidding. You've been saying things like this.
I am kidding.
You've been saying things like this your whole life. Like ever since I met you were like, oh yeah, remember when Dio stole Jonathan Joestar's body and he ruined his marriage and had his son killed, and then it grows weary after a while.
Dude, I never said that was a good thing, dude. Never.
Okay, you know what? I can't. I just can't help you anymore. I can't.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know that Dio stealing Jonathan's body is part of this Geico continuity. So I take back what I said about Dio being a good guy. He's a bad guy.
All right. Anyway, it's. I just don't.
What about anime? You watching any anime?
Anime is trash, basically. But I have been watching Fist of the North Star. I watched the first 30 seconds of the first episode.
Dude, is all you made it?
No, I definitely think that Fist of the North Star is a classic, and it deserves to kind of like have that place on the mantle, but I mean on the throne. But I was watching it earlier, and then I got distracted, and I was like, oh, I'm watching Fist of the North Star now. Let's go do something completely unrelated, and I just kind of turned it off.
It's definitely one of those shows that, like, is a testament to the time. Like there wasn't really a lot of stuff you could do to entertain yourself back then. So I mean, I say back then, it wasn't that long ago, but
You are already dead.
that's a meme now, isn't it? It was meme of the month on knowyourmeme.com. The Omiwa Shandu.
Wow, I can't believe that you go on that website enough to know that.
I had to look up a meme, man. I didn't understand it.
I didn't know that people unironically use that website.
Yeah, I do. If I don't understand a meme, I'll look it up.
Okay.
I mean, I don't visit it all the time. I had to look up the record scratch meme. The record scratch. I bet you're wondering how I got here. I had to look up that meme.
Oh.
So I'm using it to write the script in Davis. Hashtag sneak peek at chapter 10.
Why are you? Oh. All right, now we're gonna have a conversation about meme appropriation in pop culture.
What? What?
First of all, let's talk about Teen Titans Go.
Oh, okay,
Teen Titans
all right.
Go
Let's talk about Teen
is
Titans Go.
my favorite show on Cartoon Network right now. I think its cast of characters is really interesting. It's
Anthony, can you give an opinion without like?
it's a more entertaining spin on the original Teen Titans. At first, the Teen Titans was kind of like this hard ass. It had a plot. It had interesting characters. It had nice animation, and now they just completely turned it over its head, and I really appreciate that. So like I was, the one thing that I think is really powerful is its use of memes in the show. For example, they did the they had Robin, I believe, twerking. That was a really good addition to the show, I think, in my opinion.
What I think is even better than Teen Titans Go, though, in the terms of animation quality and meme usage, is definitely Young Sheldon. I don't know if you caught the premiere the night.
Don't ever say that again. Don't like wait.
You're literally sitting here telling me Teen Titans Go is good, and you're telling me that I can't say.
How dare you like ever compare that atrocity to Teen Titans Go?
You can't tell me you didn't laugh when Young Sheldon dabbed in 1980 or whatever.
Oh yeah, he created the dab, of course. Bazinga. But still, that doesn't make it a good show. It's still fucking shit. It's still ass. I'm not sure why you would even compare that to Teen Titans Go.
You can't deny the animation is good though on Young Sheldon.
Yeah, they're shooting in 60 frames, but that doesn't mean it's any good. So, wow. So, can we talk about Gal Gadot for a second?
Like real?
Can we talk about Gal Gadot for a second? And let's address the elephant in the room and talk about how media has really changed ever since 2017's Wonder Woman. We had like this over sexualized Wonder Woman in the cartoons, and now we just have Wonder Woman, and I really appreciate that.
Her costume hasn't changed.
All right, so let's talk about
her costume really is.
Let's talk about
let's talk about the over sexualization of men in comic books.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely it. Yeah, let's talk about Spider-Man: Homecoming's costume.
What? Dude, we made out like a 20-minute video about
Homecoming. Can we talk about how Spider-Man's costume? It was really loose, and then he pressed the button, and then it tightened up all on his body. I don't like that. I don't like how they put the costume so close on his body when he's more than just his tights and his groin.
That's true.
I don't. Okay, let's talk about Mila Kunis.
Who is that?
Wow. Mila Kunis is Um, the woman who plays Meg in Family Guy.
Why? Why do you know that?
Because if you've ever watched that '70s show, which she's also in, the voice is there. You can hear it clear as day. I'm not sure why you would not know that.
Why do you watch the '70s show?
Because it was good. It came on Nick at Night when I was poor and I didn't have any cable, Kyle. So why don't
you can get Nick without cable?
Just get off my ass.
I'm pretty sure you can't get Nick
Get
without
off my
cable.
ass and stop acting like you know everything.
No, dude, I'm pretty sure you can't get Nick without cable.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. DSLR cameras. Why are those things so expensive?
What did you say?
What?
What did you say? You cut out for a second.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room. Bologna sandwiches. I have some real drama with the bologna sandwiches.
Dude, are we ever gonna talk about something real? Are you just gonna just keep talking about nonsense?
None of this that I've talked about is nonsense. It's just your neo-Nazi views that
oh my god
that make it seem like that way. Where's you sympathize with Dio and now you're coming out as a neo-Nazi on the podcast?
You're the one that said
Just called me the N-word and you said go on the banana boat N-word. I just heard you say that.
What? Are banana boats? Is that an offensive thing? I did not know that.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Let's talk about how's Davis coming along, Anthony? Oh, that's chapter 9. We're on chapter 9, right? No, we're still on 8, aren't we? Yeah, we're still on 8. That's coming out next week.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
What in the world?
Marvel's The Inhumans, yeah. Marvel's The Inhumans is coming out on tomorrow. I mean today.
Dude,
today.
I saw a trailer for that. Lockjaw looks so bad.
I think that Marvel has finally made its miss. I think this is the end of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, definitely. I think this. It's time to stop now. It's time to. I think Infinity War will be the end, and it needs to stay that way because if you've seen the footage for the Inhumans, or if you've seen Medusa's hair, if you've seen Lockjaw, if you've seen Black Bolt's face, which we should have never seen ever, you'll agree that it's time to stop making Marvel properties. It's the age of the Suicide Squad now. Yeah, they do.
Don't they have Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Ant-Man and the Wasp was coming out in between the first Avengers movie and the second.
Oh.
Then they have Captain Marvel coming out after. They have Spider-Man Homecoming 2 or whatever the hell that movie's going to be called. They have
Spider-Man Homegoing.
How about Spider-Man Prom? And then the final Spider-Man movie is Spider-Man College Applications.
Spider-Man College Dance. 2 people are there.
But yeah, I've actually considered watching it tomorrow night at 7 Central on ABC.
Yeah,
Why are you
I do too. But
everybody pretty much has cable. I mean, other than like people who stream things online. Anyway,
cable because it costs too much money.
So I think the ratings are definitely going to plummet. ABC's ratings are going to go in the shitter after this one. They're going to take one look at the episode and they're going to say, "All right, ABC, this is the final. This is it. This is the last time you're gonna put something like this on my TV screen." And they're gonna have to shut down ABC for the 16th time. And Reddit is going to start a new movement called Bring Back ABC.
Dude, are you laying down some predictions? Some prophecies?
No, these aren't predictions as much as they are. I've kind of analyzed the trends and the yeah, basically I looked at what the past has provided us, and it's not as much a prediction as a guarantee that this is what's gonna happen next.
Dude, move over Nostradamus. Anthony is the new prophecy maker. Just gonna write your prophecies in French, and you'll be good to go. You know, Isaac Newton predicted the world will end in 2060.
The world was supposed to end last weekend too.
Last weekend?
Yeah, there was
According to who?
Yeah, there was some evangelists who were saying that the world was gonna end this weekend, and I was really looking forward to that, but it didn't pan out. So
I'm glad I didn't, man.
I'm not. I was looking forward to.
Wait for David to get famous and try to get that money from it.
I was looking forward to the Lord coming down and descending upon us and saying, "I've had enough," and killing us all with one single light.
Is that what he would do? He'd come down himself, the big man himself, in person.
Yeah, he'd be like, if you're alive right now, you're going to hell. And then,
so if you died right as he came down, you could go to heaven.
No. It's kind of like as soon as God started descending on this planet, this timeless rock, that's the cutoff point. If you,
okay, so I'm just gonna watch this guy with a gun to my head, and as soon as I see his big old feet come down,
because by the time you see his feet, it's too late. Like you have to. Here's how you survive. Okay, so we're giving you guys a little bit too much on this podcast. We've covered a bunch of topics. We talked about how you can stop Dio in his takeover of basically the American society. But we're gonna talk. I'm gonna give you tips on how to survive the rapture and go to heaven. You can go to heaven. So if you want to go to hell, you can skip past this part. But I encourage you to listen. So the thing is that the Lord is tired of us. He's looking down on us. He's giving evangelists these messages. Have you guys ever heard "Starman" by David Bowie? That song is basically about Ziggy Stardust, and there's a starman in the sky, and he.
Thank God.
Shut the fuck up and let me finish. There's a starman in the sky. No. I'm sorry about that. That was kind of rude. I'm not laughing about this. This is completely serious. There's a starman in the sky, and he'd like to come and meet us, but he knows he'll blow our mind. So he's up there, and he has a message for all the kids in the world, and he's telling these kids like, hey, the future's yours, blah, 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 all that good shit. That's not the important part, fuck kids. But he's basically saying, like, listen, kids, the rapture is coming. And Ziggy Stardust is the guy who's kind of like the middleman, the median, if you will. He's trying to tell these kids, like, hey, kids, the world's about to end. The Starman is God, but he doesn't care for adults. He's telling, and this came out in like 1970 something. And the rapture hasn't happened yet, so I guess he was communicating through the radio to the kids of the future. So like, I don't know if it's our generation that this is going to happen to, or the generation after that. There's not really any telling, but this message is supposed to come, and I guess it's depending on how you interpret it, but this is how I interpret it personally. So what Ziggy Stardust is communicating us from God. He's basically telling us, hey, this is how you survive the rapture. And these are the steps that I got. The first thing you're gonna want to do is learn math. Like, you have to go to school. If you want to become a math major, that's even better.
I failed already.
Yeah, so you might be fucked. I don't know. But the first thing you're gonna want to do is get really good at math and history. So
I'm good.
I say studying the Bible is really important. studying like mythological tellings, but if you want to like do like study Zeus and Poseidon and Athena and all that bullshit, and like just get the fuck out of here. God, you're already going to hell if you believe in any of that shit. But God is basically telling God is telling you guys to start studying the patterns of human life. You know, God kind of like took humanity out with the whole Moses stuff, and you have to know when he's going to come. Is what I'm saying. Know when God's going to come, and
how do you know that?
Warn your family, warn your friends. Go around, because you see those people in squares and stuff that are like screaming, "The rapture's coming! God is on his way!" Especially on college campuses, and they like hand out flyers and stuff. Those are the woke people. Those are the people that know the Lord is coming. He's on his way.
They're woke. No one else is woke.
And people laugh at them, but they're the ones that know that God is coming to fuck shit up. And so, pay attention. Start taking notes to when you hear these things. Start taking notes. Start seeing what the pattern is. Like if this person's saying, "Oh, the Lord's coming in September 2025," and this other person's saying, "Oh, this person's coming in October 2025," start really paying attention to those dates in between those two times, because it is entirely possible that the Lord is coming in those times. And so when you find that out, pin down a certain date, whatever date you want in between those times. I would rather do it like maybe in early September, so that like you don't have to worry about like the middle of time. Like
Listen, I know we're joking.
Let's
not go that far. All right, I know we're just joking here. Not do that.
Yeah, that got a little dark, but what I'm basically saying is know when the rapture is coming. No. We're not playing. Please cut that. Okay, we're back. We had to cut out some of the important information because I'm pretty sure the CIA is listening, and so basically we're just kind of screwed. It's kind of like I have to look at it. I don't even remember what we were talking about before we cut something about the Lord and coming to kill us all or something, but yeah.
So I was thinking about the podcast. I was thinking a little bit more like sensible terms. Okay, I was thinking maybe at the end of each podcast we could give a piece of media and recommend it to everybody.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds
like an album or a comic book or a movie, just like anything. We each give one recommendation. So you go first.
Wow, you're just gonna throw me in there and no time to
Okay, no. Okay, I'll go first. I'll go first. I didn't have one picked up. I'm gonna go ahead and have to recommend Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia for the Nintendo 3DS. The last game I played. It's a return to old school Fire Emblem. Very well made. Nice voice acting. Nice visuals. It's good stuff. I recommend it.
I personally want to recommend the final few chapters of Stardust Crusaders, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders, because we really get to see Jotaro Kujo really just completely demolish Dio, and it's always good to see Dio be put in this place.
Amen.
Yeah, so that's my recommendation. Remember that I am currently on trial with the Dio, and I'm kind of having some hard time. So that if you guys can just put any money towards me getting a Nintendo Switch, any money at all, and every dollar definitely helps. So just if you can, whatever you can. I don't really have any means of reimbursing or rewarding any of you, but just kind of do what you can and help me out.
No, dude, there's one reward we can give them for donating money to you.
You know,
you have the pleasure of reading Davis online webtoon.
Yeah, for free. So, like, technically,
even if you don't donate money, go read it.
Technically, you don't have to donate a penny to me or even listen to this podcast. Just kind of like read Davis. It'd be great if you did both of those things, especially the first thing, which is donating money.
Reading Davis.
But no, I think that that the money takes a little bit more precedence. But definitely read Davis. Put a lot of work into that. It's a comedy thriller. It's kind of like better. Let me not say that. I'm not going to say something that controversial, but it's on the better side of webcomics on the line webtoon. So definitely give that a read.
I'm not gonna say any names, but I mean, I may be a little biased, but I do think Davis is just a little bit better than a few of the webcomics I've seen.
Not saying any names, but definitely don't look at the top webcomics on line webtoon, because we're not talking about any of those.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not. No, absolutely never. We wouldn't even think about it. We're not those kind of people.
We're definitely not talking about 1001 Reasons to Live or Midnight Rain or Sarah Scribbles or
you can't say things like that. We're not talking about we're not talking about those things. We said that because we are not absolutely not talking about those things, and we don't want any of the fans of those comics to come to our comic and disparage us. So
right, or come into our comic and finding out that Davis truly is better, which is not what we're saying.
Yeah, that's not what's happening, and we're not asking you. Well, yes, we are asking you to donate money, but
you know, some people say that when you donate money, you read Davis in a different light.
There's definitely a new kind of look and respect for Davis when you donate that money to us.
Oh, if you wanna go down in the link in the description, I'm doing a Kickstarter I'm making a batch of hot chocolate.
Well, definitely definitely kind of put your focus on the first and original Kickstarter that I put out. The one to get me a Nintendo Switch, because I'm actually facing some hard times, and I don't need you or anybody kind of to stand in my way in this ordeal. So.
Is that so? Is that so? I ever made a hot chocolate? Do you know how hard that is? How many materials you need?
Well, here's the thing. You can start a Kickstarter outside of any grocery store, any grocery chain, be it Martin's or Trader Joe's or Walmart or Food Line, and somebody will gladly purchase you that. I can't stand outside of GameStop, and I can't stand outside of Geico and say, hey, I got hit. I mean, Dio Brando tried to sell me mid in the Kroger parking lot. Can you give me money so that I can purchase a Nintendo Switch? That's...
Wait, wait a minute. This whole thing is bogus. What? How come you need compensation for someone trying to sell you something?
Well, let's not get into the specifics right now. My lawyer is kind of telling me not to talk too much about this situation, so... just kind of like don't provoke people to ask those kind of questions. So thanks, I do appreciate it.
Right.
It's a very sensitive topic, and I got a little emotional on the stream, I will admit, on the podcast. So I just want to say sorry to all the people listening, and thank you for your generous donations to my Kickstarter, my GoFundMe.
If you want to leave any questions, we'll answer all questions. All of them.
Every single one, like whether they be about how many pores I have on my hand or any of that sort of stuff. Except just don't ask anything about the trial and the claim that I'm attempting to file on Dio Brando.
Or our sex lives.
Well, I'm willing to answer questions about that. Okay. That's it. That's the end of the stream. Thanks for listening.
Oh yeah, read Davis Online Webtoon.
Read Davis Online Webtoon. Make sure to donate. Bye.